Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to MOC membership. My name is Michael, and today I will share with you how I created 5 million for a company. And my payment was 500 euros for the 5 million that I bring in value. And yes, this is basically the reason why I decide also to leave as well. This was one of the reasons as well, because in such companies, you do not see your future, you do not see development. And yes, it is a completely joke for this amount. But you can see also that in nowadays, they have really undervalued the way how they are interact with the people and the individuals. And it exactly shows that these companies, they are completely working in a destructive way, not in a productive way, not in an efficient way, and completely just grab the profits and that's all, step out immediately. So it is like a quick, let's say, trade, just grab the profits and that's all. This is, yes, for sure, it is a gain for the short term, but in the long run, it is really reduce your bottom line because basically you have lost all the best people that are having, let's say, business mindset, have developed for many decades, mainly by themselves and not um, having so much input from the view of training as well. And this brain drain, it happens across a lot of industries. And what you get at the end, what you get is just the basic, and it's not guaranteed that you will have these profits again. So my story, it is about to show to the young people that it is anymore not required to put your efforts and create any development for these companies because basically they do not value you as person, as your thoughts, as your, let's say, development that you are bringing to the company and the innovation. And that's why I'm really uh, want from you to learn. If you are such a person, do not introduce your innovation for this small amount of money because they are benefiting highly from that, making millions, making sometimes also billions, and you are just simple worker. Okay, they just not even um, evaluate you and give you the value that you deserve. And that is really annoying seeing in such, let's say, huge industries, big names. Okay, they say, yes, we have development, we have all the shiny progress, but this is actually similar if you have, let's say, the Lewis Hamilton and you're giving to him, let's say, junk cars and all the things, just for an example, okay? So even you have the best, if you are not paying them properly, if you do not behave properly, you will lose your based, let's say, uh, bottom line for the future development of these companies. And I will give you an example. It is also, yes, it is also understandable that these companies have made a lot of mistakes and continue to invest and waste a lot of money for things that is not necessary to do. And what they're missing some of the crucial part that does not require huge investments, that does not require a lot of time to be spent. It can be simplified, done quickly, and that's all. You have already your gains that uh, you need to have for that specific time frame. So that's why all my projects that I have created, it is really fast. It is really the gains are directly coming, let's say, from the first, let's say, day of application. But the most important, these projects I keep for myself. I do not like to share it to, let's say, the company that I worked previously. Okay, so basically, I saw the environment, basically, yes, and I say, okay, I give a project which is cost, let's say, 5 millions, and I get 500. Okay, this is not the way that it's supposed to be. And I keep that project for myself. I said, okay, I will keep for them, for myself, yes, and I will contact the company that I'm, let's say, willing to share or to work with in order to make these projects real. First of all, start the things, okay, we would like to build that. Yes, is this expenses, a lot of things. What is required at the moment, at the beginning, is to understand what is the value that it will bring. Is it required? What kind of bottlenecks we have in our organization on the existing, let's say, things that we are doing? But you are able to understand the things only when you have the expert seeing the things, how they are running, for what reason they are there, and with your expert eyes, you can see, okay, here, this link, it drains your, let's say, time, it drains your energy, your resources. So, how we're able to change it, let's check. Let's make a plan. Let's make, as I told in my previous video, a virtual plan, run some of, let's say, health checks in the organization. So, yes, just imagine 5 million for 500 euros. And this is also, yes, the reason why many of people are leaving the big organizations, big tech organizations, because, yes, simply there's no any meaningful connection. Okay, you just give your effort, you just give your time more than required in some times. And that's why people start to understand us. They're moving from that roles, because the roles, it has a lot of commitment. In my case, it was a huge draining also of my funds, or also, and basically, yes, the job was not able to pay my uh, expenses. And I think, yes, really, the job itself does not cover even the necessary things when we were living, let's say, in the Netherlands. Yes, looking also to the prices there, looking also to the way of life. It does not, let's say, yes, it does not bring you that value that you require, yes, as a person. So basically, you are still, let's say, working for a name, a brand name. You are earning, let's say, the money that just to support, let's say, and living your life, but you are not developing as person. So this is basically what I have seen also from the majority of the company. So what is the point running have, let's say, stress for the company for this salary? It does not make any sense. And I see people in my last, let's say, allocation, they are doing their best. They are drained. You see, they're burned for this amount of money, and their sales are earning, let's say, 20 millions without having a clear strategy. We have without even understanding how the supply chain is actually working. So they just put, let's say, okay, minus 20,000. We do not need them. Just through them, and we will continue the next time. Yes, we will find another professionals. Yes, we will pay a little bit more, maybe. Depends of, but I'm not sure. Yes, that they will pay more for this role. For sure, the most important thing that I know, that they will raise the bar for the things that you have to do in order to stay in that position. And this is the funny part of that. And yes, basically, this is how it goes. And the only thing that I can advise you, my dear friends, my dear ladies and gentlemen, is to not give all your power. Hopefully, I realize that quickly, and from the beginning, one of, let's say, the mentors that I had during my first days in the companies, he advised me these things. Do not share all your power, do not share all your ideas to the company, because simply if you will drain yourself, everything, you will optimize all the things, then what happens? You go on and all the things, yes, they have get it for free, let's say, for free basically, yes, all your ideas. So be really mindful, be really careful. And the most important thing that I have seen also, there is no clarity, there is no real belief in the individuals that they are really supporting them, but they are really care about them. These behaviors have done and have gone to one connection, just, let's say, saying, okay, you will do that, and when you refuse, you will become, let's say, bad. They do not see the 90%, as also Einstein said. You have seen, yes, that I have made nine of the, let's say, mathematical resolutions correct, but you see one, and this one destroys all the things, the good things that you have provided through your services, through your, let's say, efforts. And I believe that in my last role, which was also supporting the business, both commercially, both also from development and improve the things, I believe my salary was just to be in the loss control. So I did more than expected from myself to be done. And basically, yes, that bring a huge value to the business. The business had this value, but the leadership and the directors was not able to see and value all the attention and all the things that I have bring. I do not care about the prices. I do not care about, let's say, um, the prices, something like that. Okay, this that does not bring any development. Okay, when I see these things, this actually was my present during the farewell, but I'm saying that this does not bring any value. Okay, the value you can bring it by providing a proper value, depends of what you are bringing to the company. This is how the valuation should be done, and only there, this is the actual value that you receive. You feel value. Otherwise, you cannot feel value. Okay. Some clubs, let's say, during a meeting, some, let's say, presence, all the things does not have any real meaning. Okay. They are just, let's say, spontaneous, that time frame, that 1 2 minutes, and they're gone. They're not existing. Everybody has forget that. But if somebody else are paying you properly for what you have bring, yes, then you unlock your potential and you provide the knowledge and the services that you have. So I have stopped, yes, to provide my knowledge cheap, and hopefully, yes, I understand that my potential is much, much higher than a lot of people are believing, which I have talked with them as well, and they're not able basically to understand of what I'm doing, how I'm thinking. It is not my problem; it is their problem, and simply, yes, this is how it goes. If you're not able to understand some things, it's okay. It is not my problem. It is your problem. Okay. So basically, you lack of knowledge in order to understand of what I'm saying and how I see the things differently. Most of these companies, they are developed and they say, okay, we have the diversity, we have the understanding and all the things. I have not seen the things. By saying things, it is one thing. By doing things and actually meaning it, it's another thing. Um, so I do not keep, let's say, any negative on that, because I learn a lot of things. I improve myself, and I really believe that one thing that you can do, it is look of how you will improve your individuality among in these huge corporations, and you build value first of all for yourself, for your family, your communities, and next thing you will see. That's why I'm telling you, you should be really, really careful what information you are sharing, to which information and for what value you are sharing them. Because just imagine you have a project which reduce, let's say, 50%, let's say, the time of a banking operation. This is a strategic, let's say, achievement. It is a really innovative achievement. Nobody does it at the moment, and you give it, let's say, for 100 or $200, but they are profiting millions. Let's say it is an impossible that one. So you never see a Formula One driver driving for free. You are not seeing a doctor, let's say, a surgery working for free. So why we as experts we have to work for free for such corporations that are creating billions of pounds? They're spending these billions of pounds in things that are not working, and then they say okay to the investors, we are fine, we will do something else, and they will fail hardly on the next, let's say, major uh, thing that they are thinking, okay, which I think the AI bubble. And not only that, not only that, if you see how they spend their funds, you will say this is impossible. This is actually, it's not a problem of the modern organizations, it's a problem that the governments as well are having. So basically, the lack of flexibility, the lack of adaptability, the lack of development, the lack of new ideas, innovation, that will bring, let's say, clarity and improvement in the industry. And you have seen also that IMO finally failed, as I explained in many of my videos. The reasons why they failed, the reasons why are they are not able to build teams, meaning in seafaring. I explain all the reasons, but nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. Yes, because they say, okay, he was engineer, let's say, or he was working, let's say, for in Shell, let's say, for 2 3 years. He need to have experience, let's say, 20 30 years to understand of how the things are working. No, the things are not working this way anymore. We have much faster allocation and direct communication with the knowledge that existing. So it is highly demand from individuals that are seeking these things continuously. I'm not going at my home and I'm sitting like that and taking, let's say, the rest. No, I'm not doing the things. I'm continuously develop the things. I continuously develop all the projects that I have created. So I'm not sitting. I'm not that person that does not create value. And I'm continuously as looking how to improve the things. I'm communicating with the people that are dealing with specific, let's say, a role to learn from their side what is this thing, for what reason we have to do that, let's say, operation, what is the impact of the things doing it differently, and discuss with them, not isolate them, but carefully listen them what they have to say. Only with this way you're able to improve the things. There's no other way. It is not just instructing and create regulations as the IMO created. Okay, yes, we will make, let's say, the green future. What green future we will make, you will make, and how you will make that green future without asking anyone who will be the participants on that. It will be, let's say, companies, or you will just instruct and put the regulation. The regulation as itself, it can say a lot of things, but actually, does it work? Does it improve the industry? Does it make easier, let's say, to work for the seafarers, or it make the system much more complicated, much more risky? The seafarers overloaded with additional things, additional paperwork to do. So the paperwork does not have any meaning at all. If you have your paperwork and everything is filled, let's say 100% fine, and all the things are good, and your engine room is a mess, so we don't know even the basics how to operate the engine room. This is a problem. This is a problem, and this is the failure of the regulations and the governmentals, because Basically, yes, in our case, let's say in Greece, we have a basketball player, and in the maritime, how you say it, sector, okay? We have a bookseller in the government for, let's say, for the health care. Okay, the people have lost their connection with what actually they should do, where actually they should be located. But everybody knows they are located there just only drain the funds. They are not bringing any development. And one of the things that I do not really understand why we accept these things, why we accept this behavior and this, let's say, humiliation for years and years, for decades and decades, and does not change the things. We have the power, we have the funds, we are highly taxed, paid all the things from all the view. If you see, let's say, the tickets that you are traveling, if you see the fuel that you're buying, everything is high tax price. For whom all the things are taxed so much? For whom? Just for the elite? No. All the things should be work for the people, for the development of the communities, not for the one individual that are sitting there and without knowledge he will tell you what to do. This is not the way that the things supposed to work. And that's why you see this is the reason why the disasters happening. And that's why I'm often taking popcorn and looking to that, let's say, huge disasters. Yes, because I have explained the things, I have done all the things, but they're sitting there and looking, yes, that nothing is wrong. For sure, for you, it's very easy to replace the people because, yes, you have the money, you have the cheese, and you can make like that. But you are not making the industry better. This is the this is the thing. You are not improving the industry. You basically destroy the industry on the opposite way. You cannot say to the people, yes, here I have this salary. You have a, let's say, yes, you have the need to be there. And yes, I will tell you to do whatever I would like to tell you to do. So it's just an illusion that they create. They create an illusion for themselves, first of all, that they are doing something meaningful. Yes, they pay a salary and they can manipulate you wherever direction they like. Okay, you will do this, you will do that, you will do these things additionally. Then your role is saying, no, you do not have to do that. This is my role. This is my clear descriptions. This is what I'm bringing. You should have a clear view of your value, what you're bringing, what you've been paid for. Okay. And nowadays you are paid just only to exist. So it's exactly the basic slavery model. And nowadays you have bachelors, you have masters, you have how many additional trainings? In my case, let's say, okay, I do not have master, but anyway, I have more than 20 years in the industry. And nobody wants to pay that. Nobody wants to pay that really, that you deserve to be paid. Yes, it is crazy. It is crazy decade, yes, that we are living in because they really does not understand the value. They do not know the value. And as we go forward in progress, I see more and more of that stupidity is being accepted. Why you have to accept a director which is are talking nonsense? For what reason? You have to accept that. You know, I have changed my philosophy. I have changed the way how I see the things. If I'm in one industry and working on the some things, I see some things that are not working, I will not allocate to that things. That's all. It is clear. I do not have time for lose. I do not have the power to listening things that are not working. And in order to show me, yes, that you have right, you have to prove it. I have to believe in that these things that you are talking about, it is something that brings value, that improves make the life easier for the people that are working there. If we are doing some things additionally and we are spent a lot of effort and we do not have something to win, what is the reason to do that thing? There is no reason to do that. Even the nature does not do that things. The nature does not spend unnecessary energy and drains itself. It will spend exactly the amount of power that is required in order to create something. That's all. You can look around in the nature and you can see it. And this is how it basically works. So I'm not waiting anything. I'm not waiting any pensions. I'm not waiting any awards, any prize. What I'm waiting from people is to have a better understanding of how the things are working and start to listening the experts, what the experts have to say. Only that way you are able to improve of what you are doing and what you are dealing with, what you are liking to do. Okay, because let's say, for example, yes, I'm doing, let's say, welding, or I'm doing, let's say, some repair. I have to focus, I have to follow some fundamentals in order to make a great job. I have to follow some rules. I'm not able to do whatever it comes to my mind, like, okay, oh, I remember something. Can we do that? Will you do that? If you say no, you became bad. And then you will be targeted as well. This is the most important, that you are bringing in this company's values. And then the same community that you are bringing, let's say, the value, you are being the target. You have become the black sheep in this community. Because simply, yes, you are bringing projects, you are bringing value. The others see you as competitor in the company. So they believe, okay, if he's able to bring so much value, so it is a let's say, threat for us, and we are not able to bring this value. This is not my problem. This is how I am made. It is your problem to develop. That means that it's something that you are not doing properly if you are in the same team. Or maybe you are not interested to improve the things. Or you are, maybe are not willing, let's say, to improve the things. And you are only there for the paycheck. And just created the illusion, yes, that you are, let's say, producing something. It is also possible this way. There's many people across, let's say, the industries, that is true, that are not doing nothing. Take our politics here. Take our, let's say, governmental politician, let's say, they have never worked in their life. They have never sweat in their life. So all the money comes from the taxes giving to these parties, and this is how these parties been supported. Yes, supported them to the life. So basically, they are like how you call it, like parasites. It's exactly the word. Yes, like parasites. They are not bringing nothing to the organizations. Do we have the parasites in the organizations? Yes, we have. We have a lot of them. And the funny thing is that these parasites are still working there, and the good ones are not working. And they try to find a way how they are able to establish in this world. This is the truth, my dear friends. The parasites, yes, because they have find the way how to avoid the system, because it is a system, they just follow what the system says. Okay? This is the easiest way how you can stay inside the organization. But this is not the development. You just follow the rules of the organization. I have to be 9 to 5. I have to be doing whatever they say to me. I have to say yes to everything and just follow the stream. Nothing else. So you can see that this brings stillness. It is like the water. Okay? It does not move. It just follow. what this has to say. That's all. You do not separate by yourself, you do not separate as individual, and also you are not able to express yourself in these communities. So where is the development in such environments? Is it governmental? Is it, let's say, big companies? This is basically, yes, the most of the systems that I have seen. I have worked, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, I have worked in so many companies that most of the people have never worked in that. So they have stayed in one company 20 years and they think that they are experts. They have never pushed themselves outside the comfort zone. They have never seen how the rest of industry is working. What is the difference of one company and the other? What is the difference from one vessel to another vessel? They have never seen that. So yes, you have to step up from the comfort zone in order to see the different. And when you see the different, you are able to judge. But if you are from apprentice engineer to one company, doing whatever you say, whatever they say, you will never able even to understand what is going on. Maybe this is a good thing, I don't know. Maybe for somebody is this is the fit. But for myself, I would like to see what is beyond the horizon, to see what is the thing that can challenge me in order I find that clarity that is required. So basically, it's again a improvement of yourself, of how you see the things, how you realize the things, and I believe this has a magic itself because it shows that there is no limit, and the only limit that we set it is the limit that is from our surrounding, that it can be, let's say, the company, the communities, and ourselves, what we really want. Because one day, all of us, yes, we will go on. That's true. We will not live here forever. And make that question to yourself: would you like to stay all your life in the same company with the same rules without challenging them, without seeing your real potential in your development? Maybe it will never comes. Who knows? But keeping fighting for that, it is the most beautiful thing that you have. Because if you keep fighting, if you try to improve things, for sure you have done one major thing, you have improved yourself. It does not matter if you improve, let's say, the world. It does not matter if you improve, let's say, the companies. It is everything about yourself, how you see the things and how you value the things. And basically, yes, through this improvement, if of us, if we take this leap of faith for improvement, it completely change of how you see the things and how you will be impact also from the things that you see around. Some things, yes, it's not clear. It's not clear, but one thing it's clear, which I understand, that we have to not accept what is not working, and we have not accept the things that has not any value. We have completely discarded. That's all. We do not have accepted. It does not matter which position is it, director, is it prime minister, is it, I don't know, the God himself. You have not accept the things directly. Have your stance, have your belief, and nobody are able to destroy your belief. What you believe for yourself, what you believe for your, let's say, inner world, this is the one that you have to support. Nobody in this world can change it. Nobody has the power to change it and interact with that. And when somebody does that, you should back away from these people because these people does not like your development. They do not like to interact you with kindness and clarity. They do not like your good. Okay. This is the most important thing that you have to have in mind, because you should be really careful, yes, what information you're sharing, to whom you're sharing, and does these people truly believe in you? Yes, you give all your power there. If not, you back up. And it's not necessary to drain yourself, because all the thing is energy. All the things is actually your energy, your thoughts, your production. Because thoughts, what actually are the thoughts itself? They're actual the first stage of the things to be done in reality. So whatever thoughts you're making, they highly impact your behavior, they highly impact your future development of how you see the world. So have really good thoughts about yourself, of what you really want to do, and concentrate to these goals. Maybe it is one goal, maybe it's two goals, maybe it's three goals or four, does not matter. Maybe you're just beginning, let's say. Write it down. I have my book here. I have my book here where I write, let's say, my things. One moment. Okay, yes, this is some of the goals, let's say. Here, mostly, okay, it's some of for the trading, okay, for the trading things, but maybe I will have something else here. I have something, you see, close to me always with a pencil. Sometimes I erase, sometimes I change my mind. Maybe I have it here. Let me check. No, it's not here. But anyway, I write it down. Small achievements, let's say, small things. What you would like to do. One easy achievement, it can be, let's say, plant something, some plants or one tree that you like, that you really like. Start from that small things, and you will see that by doing these small things, going from the things that you imagine. Some of them maybe it's too complicated, like mine, let's say the bank rate optimization, or let's say selling this book, let's say for the crudo washer. Maybe it's more complicated, okay? But let's start from the simple thing. I want to clean, let's say, the engine that I have here, okay? I will start slowly checking, and when you will see that you start to interact with that thing, with this thing, this is an engine, two-stroke engine. When you will see that slowly you will start to interact with this, your brain, your body start to connect with the reality from the thoughts. So this is a two-stroke engine. Um, it's the weight is 15 kilograms of this engine. This is a kart engine. So this is an old, let's say, engine. It has around 20 hours from their build, and um, this baby here produce 33 horsepower. So 15 kilograms produce 33 horsepower. It is fantastic. Two stroke. Two stroke we have also in the vessels, as you know. It is amazing. You see, I have in my environment, I have even engines here. So much crazy. And one thing that I have also is my tool bag, which is full of tools. And while working on the vessels as well, I used to have in, let's say, some floors. Let's say I have one of on main floor, and I have one on the boiler floors. This kind of toolbox with all the necessary tools that I supposed to use, let's say, for the maintenance of the boilers, for the maintenance of the pumps. So I do not have to pick up all my tools there. Also, we have the board. Yes, we have the board, but on the board, sometimes you cannot store everything. So I have this portable toolbox. And if it was necessary, you just grab it, move it to the location that you are working, and simply you just do the maintenance. It's really fantastic. And I really love the tools because the tools give you so much flexibility and so much time saving of the things that you are doing. It is really, really fantastic. That's why I mostly see the AI itself not as the replacement of people in the future, but I see the AI as a tool for improvement of our quality of work. This is the only thing that I see. At the moment, it is overvalued. It is um, yes, overvalued technically, because at the moment, what the companies have done wrongly, it is my opinion, my personal opinion, they have drained all the people that basically will be able to train these models. So basically, you do not have, from my role, let's say, a experienced person which have the knowledge in crude oil, in oil majors, mostly they are not there. One of the reasons was the green transition. A lot of people went to pensions, a lot of people went to LNG, a lot of people went to, let's say, electrification, all the things. So they left the crude oil itself. So basically, the green transition was a really fast thing, which still was not accomplished in the fundamental and the way how the crude is being treated. So all that knowledge has been lost. All that people has been went to pension, but also one crucial thing that I always say, there is lack of interest in this product itself, lack of interest from the view of the development of what these products can bring more. Okay, it does not, this product will not disappear. Okay, it will not disappear tomorrow, it will not disappear in 10 years, it will not disappear in 100 years, it will still be there. But what will happen, what will change, the people will lose their knowledge. You can see across the entire world buildings. We have here, let's say, the Acropolis. We have the pyramids. We have a lot of things that was done previously. All that knowledge has been lost. In nowadays, we're looking, let's say, these pyramids, and we say how they build them, how they build them, and the same things. Yes, if nobody gives attention to the crude oil, to the training course that I have created, to the material that I have shared, this knowledge will be lost. It will be lost for sure. It will be like an ancient technology, something like that. Yes, similarly. It will be drained, yes, for sure. Because as I tell you, yes, a lot of people got to pension. A lot of people, yes, change their position to LNG. They change to biofuels. They change transitioning to another roles to electrification. So in our companies, in our oil major company, we have just two people. Just imagine that basically we're able to understand the crude oil itself and the development and how it is related with that. It was only two people. One of that people was me, so I'm not there anymore, and it's just one person, which is already more than 50 years, 55 years old. So that knowledge, in order to transfer and how you will transfer that knowledge, it is complicated. Yes, you are not able to rewrite the brain and change it to another. Even if you write down the things, let's say on a booklet or something, how the person will receive that knowledge is completely different. You're able to read, but what actually the meaning are, you're not able to understand. That's why the companies really speed up their, let's say, expel of the experts from the industries, from the AI, from the technical sector, and that's why I believe they will drag them back again to this position in order to train and fulfill the AI. But I believe, yes, most of these people already gone. They will change also professions. And also, I see that in the future, there will be a lot of shift in the professions and how the energy is distributed, how The industries are, let's say, yes, are functioning. So a lot of changes here are coming, a lot of changes. And I started also transitioning from that environment, from the consumer actually, to a environment of producer. So I changed and shift my mindset completely. So I'm not anymore the consumer. I am the producer of my needs and of my energy. This is the best thing, that you are able to understand, you are able to create value for yourself, first of all, and then for all the rest. You should not be allocated and hang only from a paycheck, but you have to also develop additional ways, additional incomes from your, let's say, interaction with the world. So basically, if you have land, or you have, let's say, something, you can plant something which will be valuable. You can, in our case, let's say here in Greece, you can plant, let's say, olive oils, which you can sell as food, you can sell as oil, or you can sell as, let's say, biofuel. Next, but I believe as oil, it is much better for the consumption of the people, let's say, going to salads and all the things. I don't know, maybe we will have some engine oils built from this oil. I don't know, maybe we'll find something in the future, some new technologies. But anyway, if you have something, yes, you have to start to build your wealth from these things. Slowly, but steady. You have to have more and more incomes, more additional incomes from the view of, let's say, like land, doing something, developing something, produce something, create something. Because yes, you're not able anyway, and in nowadays trust, yes, big corporations, and mostly, yes, they have lost. People have lost their trust in huge corporations. You have seen that in nowadays nobody really trusts the governmental, because in these corporations, because they does not have a clear and transparent way how they're operating. Basically, most of the taxes that we are paying, they are taking as subsidies. So basically, they're taking our salary, part of our salary, and bringing to these companies, which show us the cheese, let's say, and the money, and manipulate us and put us to do more work for our money, for our exactly money. This is actually, and the only thing that I can do, I can show you how the things are working, and how, what I'm saying, yes, they're paying us really, really cheap, also from the salaries, from the seafarers. I have been, let's say, in the seafaring from 2005, and I have not seen substantial increasing, let's say, in our industry. They say, yes, we are giving, let's say, that much salaries. Yes, we have increased. But look, if you count the same salary from the beginning, let's say from 2005 until 2025, yes, the salary is big, but how much it has increased if you compare, let's say, with the inflation itself, it increased really, really small amount, and the people are living there. So that's why when you calculate the seafaring salary, you divide it always by 24 hours, because basically you are allocated there 24 hours. It does not matter if you're working, let's say, 8 hours per day. The rest, you are staying there on board, and whatever is happening, you are allocated there. So the chief engineer, so much, how much it takes $12 per hour staying on board. And that's why you see the owners, they're building their wealth, they're accumulating the wealth due to your efforts. Okay? And they're not sharing this value with you. They're not building your communities. They just provide you a position, and that's all. This is not the development. It is not the development anymore. So they build their wealth. They have billions and billions. Their fleet goes 100, 150 vessels. The wealth is accumulated to specific individuals. And this is, yes, basically why they are not able to build proper crew. Because if you see the management, if you see the crew managers, how they behave, like they are the last hope of the people working for them. And they're still knowing that you are bringing the value to them. You are the value, the actual value. They are doing these things. For me, this is unacceptable. Wherever you are looking at, it is unacceptable, this behavior. How they are behaved to the seafarers. And the seafarers, yes, many of them have completely disconnected because they actually understand this behavior. And this is where everything starts. It is not to say to you good words, yes, okay, Mike, come here, yes, we love you, all the things. No, showing by proper and real interest, by paying the people properly of what they're doing, by supporting the families with the school, with teaching, with development. We pay you just the salary, that's all, and do the rest by yourself. When we went to the Netherlands with our family, working for one of the biggest oil majors, my wife thought that we will have, let's say, some help with the school, something. So we will have, let's say, community. We will have, let's say, something meaningful, but there was nothing. And they are still building billions and billions on your families, on your future of your families, and you are bringing them value. So be really careful, yes, be really careful where you share your value because they are not value you. This is not value. This is not value. You're actually developing their businesses and they are not seeing that. And I have explained the reason why they do not see that. Because there is a lot of manipulation running on internally in the companies. It is like clans, company inside in the company. Politics. Most of you, maybe yes, you love them, maybe of you are not loving them, but if you have wrong people in the wrong position, this is what happens. This is where development stops. And you can see most of the countries, taking account Greece, it has stopped to develop completely. It has stopped to develop completely. So we have become the worst country in the world for the business development. Take it or not, it is statistics. It is not my personal opinion. It is something that has been shared. We are not businesses. We are not businesses. And you can see we do not have the business thought. We do not have the business approach. We do not have business development. I have sent hundreds of emails to the companies. I have sent hundreds of emails of the companies about explore, let's say, potential for development. Tell me, I have called many, many times. I have called phone calls. I try to arrange, let's say, meetings, try to arrange conversation. Tell me how many of these companies was able to establish communication. I have called to all the Greek companies. I have emailed all the Greek companies. Are they able, let's say, to see my email or are they able to set up the communication? Tell me how many of them. Just write, let's say, on the chat. Just write in the chat how of them respond. I would like just from you, yes, to see how many of them responded. And you will see that we are not a country which it is developing. We are basically shrinking, dying because the system. and the companies are not working properly. You will tell me, okay, who are you that you will tell us, yes, the things how are working? I have been in the both sides. I have been exactly in the shoes of marine engineer, sailing for more than 9 years on the vessels and the seas. And I have been also 3 years on the cooperative companies. I have developed this YouTube channel. I have developed many projects. I have communicated with thousands of people across this industry, dealing with all the stuff. And I have a clear image of what is going on, starting from apprentice engineer. So the owner, the sales, and the cooperatives, which was started only from the business schools, does not have this knowledge, does not have this pathway. And the most worst thing is that they are not willing to connect in order to learn how to improve the things and make them better. Recently, I approached a company in the LinkedIn directly from their post, and this was the most successful thing that I have ever done. So for the emails, for the telephones, nil, nil establishment, nothing. So I have stopped it. It is not working. So strategy, I changed my strategy in order to approach directly from the posts. Okay, you're doing these things. Let's connect. And they was really interesting. Let's see, yes, where it will go, how it will develop further. Yes, that will be really, really interesting. How this thing, yes, will go. And yes, I will keep you updated, keep you posted, yes, how the things are developed. Because I truly believe in these projects that they have huge potential for see the things different. It is the same things that when you see the things that in different, um, let's say, visible light or infrared light. Okay, we're seeing the visible light, and what the infrared light can reveal us is completely different. Similar is the things and the projects that I am developing. Seeing the unseen, this is where the value are. And this is basically what the people are not seeing because the managers have not sweat really on the field, have not seen the things, have not failed many times in order to create something which is really working. They just see the numbers. Okay, how much is that? Cut it. Do not spend on that. And by cutting $300,000 in one equipment, yes, they have saved money, but from the other hand, they are losing 1 million by doing this decision. And they have not asked the experts. In my last role, they have take decisions without even taking in account my presence, which is really annoying. You have a person there, but you don't know that the person is doing this job in your organization. And you're not able even to raise the questions. Because as I have explained, everybody has their world. Everybody live in the bubble that they believe that their bubble is better than all the other bubbles around them. And this thinking isolates them. They're thinking, yes, that they are the best, that they're doing the things that nobody else are doing. But this is the false sense of the things around. And this is why you are not able to progress. You're not able to develop further. And that's why there is a lot of stagnation coming in the companies, in the organizations, in the governments itself. And also a lot of individuals, yes, are coming to a stagnation because they have created a bubble which is ready to burst as the AI. So living in the bubble, it is not a good thing. It is better to connect with the people, ask them what is the actual problem, and see how we're able to solve this. Both, excuse me, winning solution bringing value, bringing quality, paying both sides what they actually required to do this work and basis on the value that this work brings. And it's benefit both of them. I don't see why they do not like to pay. I do not see the reason why they do not like to pay. Maybe they are so much, let's say, pain for paying something additional, so they see like a loss, but they don't see the value that it brings. This can be also the case. This is the most of the cases that in nowadays the industries, they see only what they spend, but they don't see the value that it brings. It can be also the case. I have to explain many times the value. And some people, yes, in order to get understand, they have to have technical background. It is not everything theory. The theory is great, but the theory also has limitations. The practical side to things, it is completely different from the theory. The theory, it is, yes, the imaginable, the, let's say, what we have created, what we have simulated, but what actually can do with our existing resources, it is completely different thing. So looking to that point, yes, we need to have different people, different mindsets in our organization in order to create value. If we're having all the people thinking with the same rules, with the same regulations, with the same requirements, with the same thing, nothing change. And if we please, let's say, our director, and we always say yes, and yes, nothing change. We're all everybody thinking the same way as our director thinks. So what is the point there? What is the point even? So they can put, let's say, robot, copy paste the same thing, and they will do whatever the director says. That's all. There is no individuality. Since this cooperation are suppress the individuality, there will not be any further development. It is just following the script. This is the script, not changing the script. Whatever the script says, we do not make any changes. It is that it is. We will work as we work. We have done that for 10 to 15 years. I have heard the story many times. I have heard the story from many companies. And directly I became really tired, disconnected, and I do not have any willingness to connect with such companies. That's all. I do not spend my time anymore on that. And I seek only true value that develops myself, develops the people that are working with. So to have a win-win situation in all the things that we are doing. That's all. That's it, all the things that, yes, I would like to share with you today. And yes, it was really great to share the engine here. Carburetor. Oh, we have the carburetor, so you can see the throttle. Here is the throttle. You can see the butterfly internally. So it drags more. It drags more fuel and air. It increases. So it does not have any gear as well. It is a clutch. This clutch here, you can see it's a centrifugal clutch. So as it raises the RPM, it expands. You can see this part, it goes up. And we have our clutch, which is a cap here, which will start to connect with the metal part as well. If you would like, I can describe some of these engines here. It is one cylinder engine, around 16,000 RPM. This is the maximum RPM that these engines are working. 55 degrees for the water temperature, and for the exhaust about from 580 to 620 degrees Celsius. So we have two nozzles here. You can see it for the high speed, and this is for the low speed. So you have a presetting here for the carburetor for the adjustment of the fuel delivery, and you will adjust it basis on the conditions, let's say on the barometric conditions, on the air temperature, on the humidity itself. And from here you have the inlet of the fuel. This is the port of the fuel. We have a mesh filter here internally. And just imagine, yes, 15 kilograms to deliver 33 horsepower. And this is our exhaust. This is our exhaust port. From here, the exhaust gas coming out. We have the cooling, the inlet and the outlet of water. It is water cooled. We have the gear set here. So every specific hours, we have to change the gear oil. And we have the starter here, and we have also the ignition here, which is preset. You cannot change that adjustment. So in this engine, we have a starter. It starts by starter. On the top, we have our spark plug. And yes, the spark plugs you change basis on the conditions as well, basis on the conditions, because these engines are higher PM engines, are highly affected by the weather conditions. Similarly, also to the engines, to let's say two-stroke engines that we have on board, when you're making also some performance while on board, it is better to have similar conditions. So you have the same barometric pressure, you have the same barometric temperature, you have the same sea status level, and you have also the same vessel loading conditions when you're taking performance. For sure, this is not possible. And the reason why we are taking performance is to see how our engine performing. Okay. It is good also to take in different conditions, because then you will have a much more sets available for comparison. Let's say in the time frame of years, if you have stored your, let's say, performances in great file, somebody can check it and look, okay, through the years, okay, that time, that year, we have this performance of the engine through the years, how it has changed also. And it is really nice thing, yes, to monitor the engines and see and feel the rhythm of the engine, how it's working, what we can do better so our engine to have less consumption. And yes, it is a really fantastic world of engineering, of technical things. So basically, you understand and you have a better feeling of the equipment, how the equipment is performing, for what reason it's performing that. This is a really, really magic world. So similarly, here with the crude washing, it is made for, it's also for engineers, but also for deck officers as well, because it has all, let's say, the knowledge that is required. It's not only technical book, this one. It has the combination, the technical, the commercial, and my last role in the loss control. It has a combination of all that, 3 4 different approaches. So it's not just only technical book. I combine it also commercially, also from the view of a terminal operator, because most of the terminal operators are lacking the knowledge of the vessel, of the things, of how the operations are done. And it is really, really helpful for the terminals to get involved heavily on that, to understand, yes, what is the things that are affecting, how it will affect an operation. So we had a vessel, to give you an example, we had a vessel which had to wait for 3 4 days for heating the product, just idle. We was lucky at that time because we had that jetty available. But one thing was missing. They're lacking reporting the temperature. So I'm sure there is a lot of companies out there, they have not proper setup of the monitoring, how the monitoring will be done, how the monitoring will be done. It is easy to set up that, and also very important thing that all these things with the existing technology can be done automatically. When you have these things automatically, and this is where the AI is needed, you can just send the data set. This data set checks, let's say, the temperatures and all the things. It is grabbing all the information. It compares of what is required basis on your, let's say, tests and all the things, and then it gives a feedback. Okay, you should do the corrective measures for that things. So basically, there is no interaction. There is no additional emails. There is no checking needed from the person. And the person which is allocated, let's say, on the loss control or let's say developing some projects are able to do something much better than doing the annoying work of a computer, which a computer can do faster and much more precisely. So this is where I see the value of these new technologies, of the computation. But the only thing that I see that there is lack of leadership in order to direct that resources properly, teach the people, learn from them, keeping them a little bit more in order to value them properly, develop them properly, and not just say, okay, you want to leave, okay, leave. That's all. This is the leadership that we have in existing companies at the moment. 99% of the companies, I'm okay, 99%, 99.9% sure. If they disagree with you, they will say, no, okay, we are not meet you do not meet our expectations anymore. So we don't need you anymore. That's all. This is the connection in nowadays, in the most of cooperative world, and they want development. Okay, I will grab some bite because I make it too long. It is morning here in Greece. It is a cloudy morning, refreshing with a lot of raining. That's hopefully a great thing. And see you in the next video, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you like this video. So slowly, slowly and steady, we grab some attention on the YouTube channel. Hopefully, yes, we will do something meaningful, something interesting, which will boost for everybody, yes, a win-win situation. Thank you very much, and see you on the next live, on the next video. Bye bye.